Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mr. Opak here, coming with the homework help video for lesson 7.1 homework, solving equations with variables on both sides. So let's jump right into this. I'm going to take a look at number 1. Now, we've taught you two different ways to do this, an old way or what we would consider a new way. The old way, how I would solve this, would just to simply be to add 3 to both sides, to isolate. Our main goal is to isolate r. So then this cancels, leaving me with 5r equals 20. Then I do the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division, and divide both sides by 5. And I have r equals 4. Okay? So that is one way to work this, and this is what we would consider method 1, or the old way. Now, we did teach you a new way, negative 3 plus 5r equals 17, where you draw a line down the equal, you make a variable side, a constant side, and an equal sign. And with this, you're going to move anything on the variables to the left, anything on the that's a constant on the right. And if you cross the line, you change the sign. So negative 3 is a constant, so we're going to move it over here, but we're going to change it from negative to positive. And that takes care of that. 5r is a variable, so you just drop it. 17 is a constant. It's already on this side, so you just drop it. So now I have 5r equals 3 plus 17, 20. Divide both sides by 5, and I get r equals 4. Okay, so again, same answer. You just got to do one method. Really, whatever method you choose to do. You can do it the old way, or you can do the variables in constant way. Okay, let me look at another one. I'm going to look at number 7. So looking at actually, let me look at number 8, so I have room to work it both ways. So I'm going to rewrite it here. 5 minus 3b equals negative 6b plus 4b. Okay, so the old way would be, can I combine anything on the left? I can't. Can I combine anything on the right? Yes, I can. So I'm going to say write what I have down on the left. And then negative 6 plus 4, if I have negative 6 in my account and I give them $4, I now have negative 2 in the account, so negative 2b. And then I need to get my variables to one side, so I'm going to add 3b here, add 3b. That cancels. 5 equals negative 2 plus 3. If I have negative 2, move to the right 3 times, that's going to give me just 1b, so b equals 5. Now, going over the new way, draw a line down the middle. You got variables and constants. 5 is a constant, move it over, but change its sign. When you move it across that line, when you move this over here across that line, you change the sign. So this is the sign change. Like we would call this line the sign changer. It changes the sign. Alright. Negative 3b is a variable, so you just bring it down. That takes care of both of those. Negative 6b is a variable, move it over but change its sign. And then we have 4b, which is a variable, and we're going to do that but change its sign. So that takes care of that and that. So then we're left with negative 4 minus 3 would be negative 7b. Negative 7b plus 6b equals negative 5. And then this would be negative b equals negative 5. Divide both sides by negative 1. And b equals 5, just as above. So either way really works here. This is the new way. This is the old school way. Okay, so either way works. Going to the back side, we had some people, some classes that had to do the back side as well. So looking at the back side, I'm going to look at, let me look at number 16. So 16, I'm going to work it both ways. I'm going to rewrite it here. 3b plus 8 equals 16 plus 2b. Alright, so with that, let's start with a new one. There's nothing I can combine on either side, so what I'm going to do is simply get the b's to one side. So I'm going to subtract 2b from both sides. That cancels there, leaves me with b here. B plus 8 equals 16. And then I'm just going to subtract 8 from both sides, and b equals 8. Now I do it the new way, draw a line down the middle, you got variables, you got constants, equal sign. 3b is a variable, drop it. 8 is a constant, move it over, but change the sign. 16 is a constant, so drop it. 2b is a variable, so move it over, but change it from positive to negative. 3b minus 2b is just b. Negative 8 plus 16 is 8, so b equals 8. Let's work one more. Let's work number 11. So I'm going to work number 11 both ways here. So I'm going to rewrite it. 2n plus 3 minus 2 minus 10 equals 3n minus 8. So first step on the old way would be to combine anything on the left side. So I can combine this 3 and 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, and then I write down everything else. Looks like I can still combine this 1 minus 10. 1 minus 10 is negative 9 equals 3n minus 8. And then I need to get my variables to one side, so I'm going to subtract 2n from both sides to get the variables to one side. That cancels. I have negative 9 equals n minus 8. I then add 8 to both sides, and I get n equals negative 1. Now the new way, you draw a line down the middle. You got variables, you got constants, equal sign. So from there, we're going to say 2n is a variable. I'm going to put it right here. 3 is a constant, move it over, but change the sign. Negative 2 is a constant, move it over, change it to positive though. Negative 10 is a constant, move it over, change the sign. 3n is a variable, move it over. And negative 8 is a constant, drop it. So 2n minus 3n would be negative 1n equals, and then we would have negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1 plus 10, or we could say 10 minus 8 is then 2. And then we have negative 1 plus 2 would be positive 1, negative 1n. Divide both sides by negative 1, and you get n is equal to negative 1. So same thing there. So that concludes this video for lesson 7.1. If you need help, please see us in the morning. Thanks so much, and have a good night.